Travis Montague, and this is Conversation Nation. Today, I'm joined by Jennifer Lee and Rayouf Alhumedhi, who were both featured in the new documentary, The Emoji Story, that's coming on Apple TV on December 22nd. Jennifer Lee is a former New York Times journalist. She's also a producer on The Emoji Story and several other films, the founder of Emoji Nation, a grassroots group focused on emoji representation, and is a vice chair of the Unicode Emoji Subcommittee. Rayouf Alhumedhi is currently a student at Stanford, and as a young teenager petitioned for the creation of the hijab emoji, which was accepted by the Unicode Consortium. Rayouf was recognized as one of Time Magazine's 30 most influential teens. The Emoji Story explores the history of emoji, the quest for more representation in visual communication, and the importance of visual to conversations today. Welcome, Jennifer and Rayouf. So, my question to you, Jennifer, when did you become so passionate about advocating for emoji and visual content?
I know it's a little bit hard to remember because the emoji keyboard has evolved so much. But if you looked at the keyboard, there were many ways to be like roles for like men emoji to have things to do. Like, you could be Santa Claus, you could be a police officer, you could be like a Buckingham Palace guard, oddly, you could be a detective. But as of 2015, 2016, the only things that you could be as a female were princess, bride, dancer, and Playboy bunny. And I just felt like that said a lot.
Well, first of all, the idea that those were the only four ways for women to represent themselves in today's age seems crazy. Rayouf, I was gonna switch to you here. So you were a young teen when you set out to get the hijab emoji approved. So what was that experience like?
Well, to put it into perspective, I went from not writing anything more complex than a lab report in biology to a proposal that led CNN and BBC to knock at my door. So it's like, I'm definitely a world-shifting perspective on my end. But yeah, at that time, I think I was ready for everything that came out of it. But it was so incredible to see the response once it was approved in, I think it was November 2017, right? But it's so wild to use it now, or see it randomly pop up in random people's captions or bios. Whoa, that was 3 years of work. It's so insane. But it's so incredible. The whole trajectory of it has been so amazing.
Why do you believe that people find it so important to have this representation in their keyboards?
I'm sure you're very familiar with this, but there's this constant debate in Hollywood and television about big screen representation in the big screen, and but there's also the kind of diversity that is important in the small screen, especially probably in terms of the hours that we spend on our devices relative to looking at TV is probably roughly equivalent. So seeing something that represents yourself in the preloaded, pre-curated, digital communications medium is your ability, kind of represents your ability of being seen.
With the documentary, what do you hope its impact will be? What do you hope it will do for the future of emoji and visuals overall?
Yeah, so we're asked there are a couple of things that I think the documentary does. It looks at the role that technology plays in our ability to represent ourselves, and I think it forces a hard look by the technology industry sort of on itself. Then there's also the idea that you as an individual can make a difference, which I think is hard, especially during the tumult of society right now, to sort of feel. So I think in some ways it's an inspiration. Another thing is it kind of asks what is the future of communication, and this idea of how representative do we want this kind of curated, preloaded, linguistic-y type visual medium to be? And I think ideally people come out, with this experience of what I call edutainment. They were entertained, but they also feel smarter.
What do you hope for the future of visual communication?
I think, some form of accessibility to how we use our phones and how we see our phones, and seeing an adaptability to that, not just have a static size, one size fits all, because not everyone's experience on the phone is the same. And honoring the fact that emojis are a big part of people's identity and how they view themselves, I think is a good start as well, because like we mentioned, there's so much power in seeing yourself be visualized in a technology that is so domestic that everyone has it and is so widespread. So I think those are my two goals for the visual communication.
I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, I was excited for this segment. It didn't disappoint. So I'm so thankful for you and Rayouf coming on and talking to our viewers about this. We're excited about, I enjoyed the Emoji Story. I'm excited. I recommend that you check it out. And thank you so much for everything that you're doing, both of you. And, we're excited about where the future of this space goes.